Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian Army says the offensive on Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast part of the country is still ongoing despite successes recorded in the operation. A statement issued by the theater commander of Operation Lafia Duli, Major General Leo Irabo, said its troops since the launch of Operation Rescue Final have continued to make progress into the heart of Sambisa Forest. Among the successes recorded are the recovery of arms and ammunition from the insurgents and the destruction of Boko Haram camps in the heart of Sambisa Forest. Iraba also says the army has rescued 801 people held hostage by the Boko Haram over the past 2 weeks. He said the persons were rescued between November 23rd till date. The Nigerian Senate has accused the Presidential Committee for the Northeast of corruption following its inability to account for about 2.5 billion naira released for capital projects in the region. The Senate Ad Hoc Committee on the Northeast Humanitarian Crisis says it has uncovered what appear to be cases of corruption, including phantom projects and inflated contracts at the Pine during a hearing on Tuesday. Pine was set up by the Buhari-led administration to address the humanitarian crisis and rebuilding infrastructure in the northeast region of the country. International aid agencies have condemned the poor state of internally displaced persons camp in northeast Nigeria. The United Nations just last week said some 75,000 children are at risk of starving to death in the region. For this cause, the global body doubled its humanitarian funding appeal for northeast Nigeria to $1 billion in 2017. The Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas, NUPENG, has issued a 3-day nationwide warning strike action. The strike action is to call attention to some unresolved issues regarding the non-payment of terminal benefits to some of its workers. It is expected to begin from the first week of January 2017. Other reasons given for the strike action by the body are the non-payment of terminal benefits to some of its contract workers terminated in Lagos and Port Harcourt by Ajib Oil Company and the refusal of Mobil Oil Company to reinstate 200 NUPENG members sacked from office. The Nigerian Communications Commission has defended its proposed hike in the price of data. NCC Director of Public Affairs, Tony Ojobo, said the reason for the hike was due to the disposition of some telecom service providers to actually price their services below cost. The price increase was expected to commence from December 1st, but the decision was greeted with so much public outcry and condemnation the Nigerian Senate had to stop the proposed hike.
It might be also interesting to know that the cost of data in Nigeria is higher than Kenya and South Africa and Mozambique. The only one that is lower than ours, which is $3.90, is Ghana. But Ghana has more steady power supply than Nigeria has. So if you're looking at all of the issues around of business, we need to understand that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just needed to paint this background so that we know that when we're talking about the floor, it's not really about fixing price, but providing a kind of guide for the industry, so that you don't have a situation where it is dog eat dog.
Predatory pricing is a situation where the operator will price below his cost. And this can only happen in the short time. And the operator must be able to price above his marginal cost. Because in the long run, no company or operator can survive if they cannot cover their total cost. So the intention of engaging in predatory pricing is to eliminate competition. If that is allowed to happen, smaller operators will die. And at the end of the day, we may have a situation where we are only left with 2 operators in the industry. These operators will now come back and increase their tariff.
We noticed very intensive price war between operators. And in the market in Nigeria, is highly segmented. We have very big operators and we have very small operators. And in any market, you need to encourage new entrants, you need to encourage small players. Because if you look at our statistics, the subscription level for small operators is less than 1 million in Nigeria. We needed to encourage them. What we found during the period when we removed the floor price was that operators were now offering prices that did not cover the cost of providing the service. We saw a situation where operators were not investing in expanding the network. From October last year till now, none of the operators was able to expand their network. They were just, getting more and more subscribers onto the network.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered an independent investigation into the death of Ifedolapo Oladipo, a core member who died in Kano State. A statement issued by Femi Adesina, presidential spokesperson, also expressed Buhari's condolences to the families of 3 NYSC members who lost their lives recently during the 2016 Batch B orientation program in 3 states in the country. The president described the demise of these 3 young Nigerians as shocking, sad, and unfortunate. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and the various security agencies, as well as political party leaders and their candidates, have met again in continuous efforts to ensure that Saturday's rerun polls in Rivers State are hitch-free. With the poll already generating tension, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Joshua Kabila, said no group would be allowed to cause violence during the exercise. Meanwhile, the resident electoral commissioner in the state, Aniedi Ikiowak, has equally given the assurance that the commission is ready for the polls on Saturday. Members of Nigeria's ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, have met to discuss ways to foster greater party unity amid reports of conflict within the party. The meeting, which lasted for over 2 hours and 30 minutes, was held at the party's headquarters in Abuja, the nation's capital. Among those in attendance were APC members in the Senate, led by Senate President Bukola Saraki.
We both bore our minds, told ourselves a hard truth. But at the end of the day, we all accepted certain things were not done well. We accepted to move forward, work closely with the party, with the interest of building the party, for the interest of the Nigerians that believed in our party, continue to work closely together, and we're hopeful that a new chapter is being opened today, that will be in the interest of our party and interest of Nigerians that believed in us, and that we still are committed to deliver on the promises and the hopes and aspirations we gave a lot of Nigerians that came out to vote a year and a half ago.
As far as the party is concerned, we complimented the Senate in this case, but the total National Assembly for the cooperation, the way they've worked so far with the executive. We are determined, and we concluded that we must work closely together to address some of the glitches that still exist in the relationships between the party, the National Assembly, and the executive. And we want to assure the general public that they will see very results that will lift their spirits in the next few weeks and months ahead.
The Nigerian Senate has failed to confirm the appointment of the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu. Magu was to be confirmed as the chairman of the Anti-Graft Agency. However, the confirmation meeting did not hold on Thursday. A new date has, however, been fixed by the Nigerian Senate, which is December 15, 2015, a day after the budget presentation by President Muhammadu Buhari. The presidency had 6 months ago forwarded a letter to the National Assembly nominating Magu as the substantive chairman of the Anti-Graft Agency. Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has called on women in the country to join forces with the Anti-Graft Agency and its allies to stamp out corruption in the country. Acting chairman of the commission, Ibrahim Magu, made this demand at a conference in Abuja, the nation's capital. He was speaking at the Nigerian Women Against Corruption project flagged off by the EFCC in collaboration with the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari.
It is our belief at the EFCC that enlisting the women folk as change agents could be the turning point in the fight against corruption. It is therefore my fervent hope that this gathering is but one little step in the long journey to making Nigeria corruption-free. My message to you this morning is to lead from the front in the war against corruption. We must begin the fight against corruption from our homes by ensuring that our children, brothers and husbands are not involved in activities that could bring the family name to shame, disrepute. I'm persuaded that if women can fight corruption, from their homes, by rejecting fortunes not supported by family values, legitimate earning, the fight against corruption will be easily won.
My dear Nigerian women, the individuals and groups most affected by these corrupt acts are us, the women. The struggles the women face daily, either in education, justice, healthcare, or employment, are indeed enormous. There is, therefore, no one single group better positioned to understand the issue of corruption, and at the same time, there is no other group with more influential tentacles as professionals, mothers, wives, and sisters.
The government and the society at large must realize that women are just as intelligent and committed to the progress of the nation, most especially as it is said that they constitute more than half of the population of the country. They should be carried along and regarded as partners in the progress of this fight that will eventually transform the country positively. As it is now, Nigeria has been ranked very high in the hierarchy of corruption and of corrupt countries, and this is how the world perceives it, courtesy of Transparency International.
Ghana's main opposition party says it has a strong lead in elections and called on President John Mahama to concede defeat in the polls. The New Patriotic Party, NPP, said its candidate Nana Akufo-Addo had won 52% of the vote according to its own tally of Wednesday's presidential poll against 44.8% for John Mahama. The Electoral Commission says it had not certified any results in the closely fought race to lead the West African nation that has seen a series of peaceful transfers of power. But figures shown by television and radio stations show the opposition making gains in both races. A Nigerian man is embarking on a series of long-distance races to help promote his culture. Known as the Rapper Man, Ajaro David Obaro from Delta State is a world record holder and has embarked on several races to help create awareness on different issues he cares about. To raise funds for his alma mater, Ajaro had last weekend embarked on a 15-kilometer run from the National Stadium in Surulere to Echo Hotel, Victoria Island in Lagos State. If there's one sight you never see in Lagos State, Nigeria's busiest city, it's this sight: a man running the streets in a wrapper as long as 20 yards. But it's for a good cause. Ajaro David Obaro, a Delta-born Nigerian long-distance runner, is trying to raise funds for his old secondary school. Known as the Rapper Man, Ajaro is usually kitted in this outfit when he runs to symbolize just how much he appreciates his culture. With the Nigerian flag in one hand and part of his wrapper on the other hand, Ajaro runs through several streets, determined to achieve his goal. And despite the tough weather conditions, the rapper man refuses to stop running. Finally, after a long journey, he arrives at his destination. There, he is received by a small group of his alumni. After the praises, the rapper man explains the purpose of his race and remains confident he will achieve his target.
We started at National Stadium. Here we are in Eco Hotel. It's not been easy, but we made it. It's a challenge, and this is another message to everybody around the world, to Government College Ughelli Old Boys, to Nigeria as a nation, myself included, and the world in particular. There is no challenge we cannot overcome. Government College Ughelli gave me a lot. If not for Government College Ughelli, I wonder where I would have been today. But with God, I would have been maybe somewhere better. But I'm happy with where Government College has taken me to. And as part of the Giving Back project we're starting, back to school, I have strength, I have endurance, I have God on my side. Today I've come out to run to raise $45,000 for Government College Ughelli. People will ask me, in this recession, yes.
His fellow alumni also praise him for his efforts.
This is his own contribution. But we're doing this, our function today is an annual event. You know, he ran from Abuja to Lagos. He ran from Abeokuta to Lagos. That was about August. And he's done this one today. It's a continuous process until we get to until we get there.
We are appreciative of his efforts in support of the program today. He is supporting the event, but what he does running is to charity. So, and he also wants to help the school in terms of raising funds. So the charity event is actually to raise funds for the school.
Ajaro has been running with the rapper for the past 6 years and has overcome some difficult challenges along the way. He's about to face another challenge and is asking Nigerians to support him.
On the 17th of December, we'll be having the first Agbara Outdoor Rapperman Challenge in the world in Nigeria, where more than one person will be running in a race. It's about 8 kilometers. I'm calling all of you anywhere you are to support this project. If you don't support me, I'm from the Niger Delta. Would you want to support those who are blowing the pipeline? Would you want to support the terrorists? Support charity. I've been facing a lot of challenges, and that's why maybe it's because we tagged it Rapperman Challenge, but we'll overcome. So I need your support, whatever you are doing, wherever you are. It's all part of our own contribution to it's another way to boost our local tourism culture.
There is no doubt that the rapper man is facing a difficult challenge. There are bound to be issues along the way, but if he remains steadfast in his approach and gets the right support, he is sure to achieve his set target.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News Now. It's a few weeks to the holidays and wholesale and retail traders in Lagos State are beginning to stock up essential food items and goods. However, prices of various commodities in the market have risen exorbitantly. Nigerians are lamenting the high cost of goods and are calling on the government to intervene and help make this year's celebration a memorable one.
The Christmas bells are ringing. The holiday is here again. It's less than a month to Christmas and New Year celebration, but the atmosphere doesn't look like Nigerians are preparing for any celebration. At this time of the year, the environment is usually full of colors and excitement. Markets are usually jammed, but it is not so this time. Most markets are just a shadow of what they used to be during this period. Sellers are sitting idle with a look of frustration on their faces. The prices of goods are very high, and as such, patronage is low.
The business now is somehow, I would say everything is not going well like that, but because the price of everything has changed. The price that we normally buy it is not the price we buy now. Even the people, the customers who come to buy, they do complain. So their complaint is also affecting us.
People are not buying it because everything is too costly, much costly. That's why people are not buying it.
Since the country slipped into recession, there has been a continuous increase in the prices of goods and services. And several months after, the country's economic situation seems to be getting worse.
The market is very expensive. Since I was born, I have not seen common palm oil. Look at it. Palm oil, a gallon of palm oil, 20,000 naira. Since I was born, I have not had that before. This is the first time of my hearing that palm oil will cost up to 20,000. Things are very expensive. Even a bag of rice is 20,000 naira. It's unfair.
Where consumable goods have been hit the most, every sector of the economy has recorded a significant increase in cost. Consumers are lamenting.
This Christmas is going to be a very, very dull one because there's no money and everybody's trying to save what they have because we're not so sure of what would happen. We don't know what the government has for us, so we are all scared and we're trying to be very careful. So this Christmas is going to be a low-key Christmas.
What is happening in the country today, you just take this grace of God for a man to survive. We are praying. What I just said is that we should continue to pray. God will answer us.
Most people are blaming the government for the situation, demanding that something be done fast to reverse the trend.
Ever since they closed the border for all these things not to come in, they don't have enough here to produce and they are closing the border. So I would say those things are affecting us. The ladies that sell tomatoes, we that sell all this kind of rice and all that. So all those things, ever since they closed the border, things have not been coming in. So we need people that will produce more so that it can satisfy us, so that we'll just leave those foreign ones.
For many, it's certainly going to be a low-key Christmas celebration. People are cautious to save the little they have. The government says it's doing all it could to get the country out of recession. And hopefully, the new year will usher in good tidings for Nigerians. Endurance Alonge, TV360, Lagos.
The Nigerian currency is expected to hold steady around its present level against the greenback in the parallel and official interbank market as dollar flows from Nigerians living abroad who are expected to visit home during the December holidays. The local currency fell on Thursday to 485 to the dollar on the parallel market from 480 a dollar recorded last week, while it was quoted by commercial lenders at 315 a dollar on the official interbank market. The Naira has, however, consistently closed around 305 a dollar level since August through the official window. Oil prices steadied around $50 per barrel on Thursday, close to the week's low on doubts proposed by OPEC production cuts would be sufficient to balance the oil market. Brent crude was up 25 cents at $53.25 per barrel, while U.S. crude was up 20 cents at $49.97 per barrel. Both benchmarks have fallen more than $2 a barrel from highs recorded on Monday when investors bought heavily in the wake of an agreement by the OPEC and Russia to cut production to reduce a supply glut. Some analysts have suggested priced commodities may be insufficient to dent global oversupply and rebalance markets. Rescuers are combing through the rubble for survivors after an earthquake Wednesday morning in Indonesia's province. At least 102 people were killed, including young children, and 136 seriously injured, according to the Indonesian Disaster Management and Mitigation Agency. The shallow 6.5 magnitude quake damaged homes, shops and mosques in the district of Pidijaya, completely destroying hundreds of structures. Authorities say the death toll is likely to rise as the quake flattened both mosques and homes in the area. The earthquake came as a surprise as no tsunami alert was issued in the region. Pakistani military helicopters on Thursday transported the remains of plane crash victims to the capital of Islamabad. This comes as aviation authorities say they opened a probe into the crash that killed 47 passengers and crew members in the northeast of the country. The small twin-propeller aircraft was traveling from the scenic mountain resort city of Chitral to Islamabad on Wednesday when one of its engines failed shortly after takeoff and crashed. The plane belonged to the Pakistani national carrier, the Pakistan International Airline, I beg your pardon, and had 42 passengers and 5 crew members on board. The Nigerian, I beg your pardon, the Nigerian Senate has instructed the Nigerian Football Federation to pay the Super Falcons the outstanding salaries it owes them. The Falcons are currently staging a sit-in protest at their hotel in Abuja over the failure of the Nigerian Football Federation to pay them their complete allowances. The players say the NFF offered them 50,000 naira each, but they rejected it and demanded for all their outstanding allowances. The development drew the interest of the Nigerian Senate, who have condemned the incident. The Deputy President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who presided over the plenary, asked the NFF and the Minister of Sports, Solomon Dalong, to ensure the loans of the Falcons are paid. The IOC has cleared all 3 candidate cities for the 2024 Olympics to advance to the next stage of the bidding race. Thursday's decision means Paris, Los Angeles and Budapest are the only cities running to host the Games. The bid cities now have until February 3rd to submit documents regarding Games delivery, experience and venue legacy. The IOC will select the host city next September in Lima, Peru. Usain Bolt says he is shocked by the decision of Jamaica's Athletics Federation to abstain from the IAAF vote on a sweeping reform package at the governing body of world athletics. The reforms aimed at changing how the IAAF operates were overwhelmingly passed at a special congress in Monaco on Saturday after members voted 182 to 10 in favor of the resolutions reached. The reforms also place more governance power on the hands of the IAAF Executive Board. That's all we have at this hour. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.